The last few numbers here, we have an ln. What gets rid of an ln? An e. But before that, we need to simplify this as much as possible. We're going to add 3. So we get 5 ln of 4x equals to 20. We could get rid of that 5 up in the front by dividing by 5. So I get ln of 4x equals 20 divided by 5 is 4. We said in order to get rid of that ln, I would put an e there and an e there. This cancels. So we get 4x equals e to the 4th. But what is still in front of that x that we need to get rid of? Well, the 4. ln of 4, not ln, sorry. It's e of 4 divided by 4 equals x would equal 13.650. That would be the way it would have to be rounded. But if you put 0.649, that's fine. Not a big deal. Alrighty. Number 15. In order to get rid of the ln over here, because I'm trying to solve for y, I would have to put the e. Now, as we do that, we know this cancels. So we get y equals e to the 3.256x plus 5.148. All that is the exponent. But because we're trying to get it to this format, I need to put the x second. So this is when you split it into 2. This guy would go first, separated by a multiplication sign, because that's the way the formula says to do it. 3256 to the x. From here, all you have to do is plug in each one individually into the calculator. So we'll go second e to the 5.148. I get that number. And we go ahead and plug in the other one. Second e to the 3.256. So those are two numbers that I'm going to be using. So the first one would be 172.089 times 25.946 to the x power. So make sure you go 3 numbers after the decimal. If you have to round up, you round up. If not, you just stay there. And this should actually be a 7. Now, the next one's a little bit different because we have an ln on both ends. First, we need to take care of this guy, which we should know because it's up in the front. It's actually the exponent to that. So we have ln of y equals the ln of x to the 1.5 minus 4.689. Now we'll do the e on both sides. Only cancel the left for right now. So we get y equals e to the ln of x to the power of 1.5 minus 4.689. Remember, all that right there right now, it's an exponent. From here, it splits into 2 problems just the way we did up here. So this would become y equals e to the negative 4.689 times e to the ln of x 1.5. Now the cool thing or the easier thing about this one is, this cancels. So this is going to be something times x to the 1.5. But what is that something? Well, we'll go to e negative 4.689. We get it, and we get a 0.009. 0.009 times that. So that would be your answer right there. Okay, the next problem tells, can you expand that? You should remember that in expanding, multiplication means addition. On the top part of that fraction, we have 3 things that we're multiplying. We're multiplying the 4 times the x squared times the square root of y. Remember, please, the square root of y is the same thing as having y to the 1/2 power. Knowing all that is multiplication, there has to be an addition between 1, 2, 3 things. So I have log base 3 of 4 plus that exponent needs to go in the front, so it's 2 log of x, because remember this number would determine or let you know that that's an exponent to there. Since we know this is y to the 1/2, it's an exponent also, that guy needs to go in the front. Now, division means subtraction, and I'm forgetting my little 3 here and little 3 there, but there they go, of log base 3 of 6. So that right there would give you the final answer to that part. If you actually go back and work it out before doing this and then go see the video, you should be fine. Number 18. First thing we do is divide by a 4.5, divide by a 4.5, log base 5 of 2x equals 15 divided by 4.5. It gives you a big decimal. Math, enter, enter. Changing it to a fraction, something that's going to be easy. 10 over 3. Because I have a log of 5, I would have to put 5 raised to that power, 5 raised to that power. These guys cancel. If it would have been a 6, then you would put a 6 and a 6. If it would have been a 20, 20 and 20. You only have 2x equals 5 to the power of 10/3. Whatever that gives me, what am I going to have to do to it in order to leave y by itself? Well, divide by 2. So now, why not enter all those steps at one time? 5 raised to the power of 10 over 3. Oops, sorry. And then from there, I would have to divide that by 2. So my answer would be 106.873. So that would be the final answer for that one. Now, get the other paper because I'm going to go over it also. Okay, for this next problem, it says the population P of a city increases according to this formula. T is the years, where T is 0, it corresponds to 1980, but then it says at 1995, the population was 2,000. So population, 20,000. This here should be your P. Find the value of the constant A. This is who you're looking for, and approximate your answer to 3 decimal places. Now, they tell you T is equal to 0 is 1980, but I'm wondering what 1995 is. How many years are occurring from 1980 to 95? Well, that is really 15 years. So T would have to be 15 for this problem. 20,000 equals to 5,000 times E to the A times 15. Now remember, you're solving for A here. So first thing you need to do is try to leave the E by itself. So can we get rid of that 5,000? We should be able to by dividing, because it's being multiplied. You don't see it, but there's a little multiplication right there. When we divide 20,000 by 5,000, that right there should be a 4. Now I'm going to flip the 15 and the A only because I like to see the number before the variable. So there it is. Now how do you get rid of the E? By putting an ln on both sides. These guys cancel, so I have ln to 4 equals 15 times 8. If you're solving for A, what would I have to do here? Divide by 15. Now you put it into your calculator. ln of 4, close your parentheses, divided by 15, and I get that answer of A would be 0.092, because it's asking for 3 numbers after the decimal. Now, problem 2. And these problems we actually did that Friday before this, last Friday actually. Now it says the level of sound D in decibels is defined by that function, where I is the sound intensity and watts per centimeter squared. Determine the level of in decibels. So you're looking for this guy. So that guy is going to stay unknown. So that should tell me I should know what the other variable is, which is I, and then I do, right there. I is 10 to the negative 9. 10 to the negative 9 over 10 to the negative 16. That's a given to you right there. Now we've learned when division comes, what are we supposed to do with our exponent, subtract them. So it's -9 minus a -16. This becomes a plus sign. So -9 plus 16 is actually 7. So this becomes 10 to the 7th power. All you have to do is plug that straight into the calculator, 10 log of 10 to the 7, and that would give you the answer, which is 70. So how many decibels is it? 70. D equals 70. It's a pretty simple assignment. Now the next one, the one that we need to be for sure, it says, the spread of a virus through the city is modeled by this function, where n is the number of people infected by the virus after t days. So people, n is the number of people infected, t represents days. How many days? So this is who we're looking for. That's who we're looking for t. How many days it takes for 3,000 people to be infected. So that 3,000 should actually be the n. All of that divided by 1 plus 100 e to the -0.5 t. Now, in this one, first thing I want to do, since I'm wanting to solve for t, but t is in your denominator, I need to move it from there. So the first thing would be to multiply both sides by your denominator. When you do this, all we could do is just write it neatly, which in this case it would be 3,000, and this would be inside of a parentheses for right now. Now, on this side, these two would cancel. That was the whole purpose. Now, when we look at this, I'm trying to somehow leave that e to the 0.5 t by itself because I'm looking for t. So the first thing I would need to do is get rid of that 3,000. Since it's being multiplied, all I have to do is divide. 15,000 divided by 3,000 would be 5. This continues to stay here, but now there's nothing holding it from you solving it. It's 100 plus, so that 1 is being added. I could subtract it. So I have 100 e to the -0.5 t equals to 4. I'm wanting to leave e by itself. I could divide by 100. So e to the -0.5 t equals 0.04. When you put that into the calculator, that's what it gives you. And then we take the ln of both sides. So moving over, these guys cancel. I get a -0.5 t equals to ln of 0.04. From here, I want t by itself still, so I should be able to divide by a 0.5, divide by a 0.5. So t should equal whatever that gives me. Let me plug it in. ln of 0.04 divided by a -0.5. It tells me it is 6.438. Now this really means it's like 6.5 days. In 6.5 days, 3,000 people should be infected. Take all this, study for your tests. Good luck tomorrow.